For the introduction of the lineups for Game 7, here's the longtime PA man for the LA Lakers, Lawrence Tanter.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Staples Center, the sports and entertainment center of the world, for the 2000 NBA playoffs. Today, game number 7 of the Western Conference Finals between the visitors from the Pacific Division, the number 3 seed, the Portland Trail Blazers, and the home team, the number 1 seed, your Los Angeles Lakers. And now the starting lineup for the visitors, the Portland Trail Blazers. At 1 forward, number 30, 6'11", and his 5th year from North Carolina, Rasheed Wallace. The other forward is number 33, 6'8", and his 13th season from Central Arkansas, Scottie Pippen. At 1 guard, number 3, 5'10", and his 5th campaign from Arizona, Damon Stoudemire. The other guard is number 8, 6'8", and his 9th year from Michigan State, Steve Smith. And at center, number 11, 7'3", and his 5th year from Lithuania, Arvydas Sabonis. The head coach of the Trailblazers, Mike Dunleavy. And now, on your feet, time to greet the home team, celebrating their 40th year in Southern California, 36th year in the playoffs, with 6 NBA World Championships, your Los Angeles Lakers. At 1 forward, number 41, 6'8", and his 11th year out of Michigan, Glenn Rice. The other forward is number 45, 6'9", and his 15th season from Oregon State, the Iron Man, A.C. Green. At 1 guard, number 4, 6'6", and his 14th campaign from Miami of Ohio, Ron Harper. The other guard, number 8, 6'7", and his 4th season from Lower Merion High School, Kobe Bryant. Number 34, 7'1", and his 8th year from LSU, Shaquille O'Neal. Head coach of the Lakers, Phil Jackson.
Both Ahmad Rashad and Jim Gray are here for reports. Let's start with Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. I talked to Ron Harper before the game, and Ron said that his team was in great shape, feeling very good. He said the entire season, Phil Jackson has told him this is the reason we want to play the season, so we can be in this situation right now, home court advantage, 7th game. Ron also told me that he got a very inspirational phone call this morning at 9 o'clock from Michael Jordan telling him that he had taught him well. Go out and show him. Now, on another note, Kobe Bryant with the bad right foot, I talked to him before the game. He said he is feeling fine, ready to go. For more on Portland, let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Ahmad. Well, Scottie Pippen is nursing 2 fingers on his left hand, his non-shooting hand. He was 1 for 6 in Game 6. I spoke to Scottie. He had some treatment before the game, soaked him in a hot tub, also got some electronic stimulation. He says they're feeling a little bit better, but he's not quite sure how well he'll be able to grip the ball. Scottie also said he gets real fired up, and it'll heat up knowing that he's playing once again against Phil Jackson and Ron Harper. He says, I've got to remember, however, it's not about them. It's about us winning the game. And finally, I spoke to Mike Dunleavy, and he told his team just before they came out, he said, guys, this is what we played our whole year for. They're going to try and break our spirit and our concentration and our toughness. Don't give in, be ready, and don't respond to them. Bob?
Jim, thanks. The only team in the entire league not to experience at least one 3-game losing streak this year is the LA Lakers. If it happens to them for the first time tonight, they're going home. Dating back to all those years in Chicago, and including 2 series this year with the Lakers, Phil Jackson has won 30 out of 33 playoff series as a head coach. And he is 26-0 when his team has enjoyed the home court advantage. Yet they have lost 3 times this year, once in the regular season and twice in this series, to the Trailblazers on their home floor. The officials are Hugh Evans, Steve Javie, and Dick Pavetta. Stoudemire had 14 points in Game 6 and chipped in with 7 boards. Gives it up to Pippen and now Smith. Rasheed Wallace out further on the floor than usual against A.C. Green. The turnaround is there for him. They've gone to that off their first possession in virtually every game.
Well, you know, that's a play where he can make himself score at any point against A.C. Green because he has the ability to shoot over the top. They've got to force him further out and make a play against the clock.
Glenn Rice almost lost it. 7 to shoot. Harper will.
It's the same litany for all the biggest of games. The role players for the Lakers today, it's got to be Harper, Horry, and Fisher. And then first to the ball, Phil Jackson saying these games take on lives of their own, but they're so similar. Who's going to get the loose balls? Who's going to pound the long rebounds? And who's going to be up and down the court first, particularly transition defense?
Pippen guarded by Rice. Green is on Sabonis out high. Stoudemire into the lane. Swatted out there by Bryant. Kobe, first team all defense with the block there.
Patiently waiting, keeping it in play, igniting a fast break opportunity. A wonderful transition D for the Blazers.
Rice for 3. The Lakers made 12 of 19 threes on Friday night in defeat. They pick up where they left off in this one.
Got a 5-0 lead, and Shaq hasn't touched the ball.
Yeah, but they're not going to win this game unless Shaq does touch the ball.
And the game's first whistle comes from Dick Pavetta. The foul is on Kobe.
Damon Stoudemire has been able to get by Kobe time and time again, particularly in the opening moments. This time, Kobe waits. That led to a transition opportunity. The good quickness of the ball movement allowing Glenn Rice to get wide open.
Steve Smith makes it 5-4. He had 26, continuing his hot shooting with 10 of 18 in Game 6. And he hits his first one here.
You see Damon Stoudemire come down the floor. The idea is to put pressure on Kobe Bryant, force some turnovers. They get him for the foul. But this is a luxury that Mike Dunleavy can afford. He's got a lot of guards, a lot of guys that can put pressure, and none of the key guards for the Lakers like to have somebody challenge them at the other end of the floor.
If you're Phil Jackson, do you even want Damon Stoudemire in foul trouble? The Blazers have played better with a big guard lineup.
Kobe Bryant against the smaller Stoudemire. Finds Harper alone.
From the same spot that Ron Harper won Game 3 with. Ron Harper's assertiveness. A great big game player, Harper.
They're coming back to Wallace. And whenever they get in trouble, this is going to be the guy that bails them out. A.C. Green tagged with the foul.
The same play that he won Game 3 in Portland, which gave the Lakers home court advantage back. The penetration by Kobe, giving it up, the ball movement. The team moving in unison, in sync, the Lakers.
You've got to take your chances with Ron Harper rather than Shaquille O'Neal. And Portland's going to gamble on that play all night long.
Smith missed. Stoudemire can't hit. And Shaq picks it up. Here's Harper, who's 2 of 2 from the floor and assisted on the other basket.
Time to dump it into Shaq.
There it is. Smith over on the double team. He spins on Sabonis. Passes through a crowd to Green. They've still got time. 7 on the shot clock now. Glenn Rice into the paint. And Sabonis takes it.
The strength of the hands of Sabonis. Great collapsing defense for Portland.
Pippen from Stoudemire, ad-libbing a shot, but drawing a foul.
Good fortune for Portland that time, because normally you do not get to the free throw line on a shot like this by Scottie Pippen on the break, and Stoudemire went the wrong way, gave the ball to Pippen. He got himself caught off balance, got nicked, and is at the line.
But with Sabonis able to get defensive rebounds, if he can make some sort of positive contribution, he had a double-double last game, didn't get in foul trouble, that'll give them, with Sabonis' constant presence on the court, it'll give them opportunities to get out in transition, a style that they have to play. They play set-up basketball against the Lakers. They're not going to win a bang-bang game.
Ryan Grant, who occasionally has been used to defend against O'Neal, but is overpowered in those situations. A key tonight will be how this game is called. Sabonis got no early fouls in Game 6, was able to play his game at both ends of the floor.
Sabonis did not have a foul in the first half of Game 6. Picked up his first foul late in the third quarter.
But for Shaq and the Lakers, it's less about Sabonis, it's more about getting him the ball. He's only had one touch in almost 4 minutes of play.
AC Green misses. Pippen thought about a three, instead gives it up. Rasheed Wallace with that matchup on Green. Little jumper is no good. And a whistle on the rebound, and it'll go against Portland. After almost 4 minutes, the Lakers lead by 1, and neither Bryant nor Shaq has attempted a shot.
And that's not a good strategy. You look back at the great Laker teams of the past. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the greatest player I ever played against. First 5 possessions of every half, he had the ball in an offensive scoring mode every game.
The foul a moment ago was Wallace's first. Here's Bryant's first shot.
The triangle offense is a jump shooting offense, and what makes it better than that is Shaquille O'Neal. And as I said before, if they don't get him involved in the game, it gives Portland a great chance to stay close, and they've won almost every first quarter against the Lakers.
Stoudemire turns the corner, finds Sabonis, open two, way off with it. And here comes Rice. His pass is deflected, it goes off the glass and into the hands of Pippen.
Now, the one thing that Rice doesn't do very well is pass.
Wallace got it and missed it. How did that happen? Here comes Harper, splitting the defense, but then it's stripped and stolen. Stoudemire to Wallace, and this time he makes sure.
Yeah, he's not going to miss 2 of those, baby, that's for sure. He put the cap on that to put the fans in their seats.
Discipline, though. Glenn Rice, Ron Harper, some wild plays in transition. Keep it simple. That's what Phil Jackson's going to reinforce to his team right now.
For Rasheed Wallace, you know, it's all about staying in the ball game and staying composed. And even though he comes with authority and misses on the back rim, he stays with the play, gets himself in a position, throws this one down, keeps Portland close.
What? Backing it up mostly from the perimeter. The Lakers, even though they have a 1-point lead right now, are not controlling the basket area. Shaq, he has the ability to turn the Portland Trailblazers into bowling pins. He can just come and just blast his way. That'll get the Sabonis, AC Green, and Wallace all in foul trouble, and that'll be a huge problem for Mike Dunleavy.
No team this year has done nearly as good a job as Portland in containing Shaq. In 10 meetings this year, they've held him beneath his average 8 times. Kobe Bryant, quick catch and shoot. Shaq may have gone over the back, and he did for his first foul. He's had a couple of big games in this series, 41 in the opener, 31 with 21 rebounds in Game 5. But the rest of these numbers, Portland would happily take.
Portland is one of the teams, along with Sacramento and San Antonio, they have the personnel that can confront Shaq. Perimeter post players who can handle and create, and a lot of depth for the Blazers.
Sabonis screens for Stoudemire, who pops the jumper, and Shaq pulls in the rebound.
One of the things the Lakers have not done is push the ball aggressively, and let's see if they try to do it so they can get the ball to O'Neal.
Looking for him in the post against Sabonis. Into the lane, knocked away, but a foul. It'll be be #1 on Sabonis.
Shaq beat the double team that time before it even had a chance to get there. The beauty of the triangle offense is that it's an offense based on movement, body movement, foot movement. Shaq can't just stand there and slug it out.
Shaq's pass doesn't find its mark. It's Portland ball.
You know, you just sense from the crowd, Bob, that this place is ready to explode if the Lakers can give them something to explode about, as Jackson is all over Hugh Evans. But it's Portland's job to keep them sitting in their seats, and they've done a good job of staying close early.
And the Lakers with 3 early turnovers and some drop passes, giving the Blazers all the life they need.
Robert Horry getting set to check in for the Lakers at the next break. Sabonis, who played 45 minutes in Game 6, his longest stint of the year, deals out to Stoudemire. The three-pointer puts the Blazers in front 11-9.
That's the kind of three you want. Get it inside, draw a double team, get the defense packed in, and you get great momentum on the long-range shot for Stoudemire.
Harper on the drive. Offensive foul.
How big is this game? We've never seen Jackson off the bench early at all, and on every call he's been up, looking in the direction of the officials, and on this play, the call goes for Pippen in Portland, and Jackson, again, barking at the official.
Something to keep in mind as Harper goes out after his second foul. Robert Horry is in for AC Green, and Derek Fisher is in for Hart. Since the Lakers rampaged through the league, winning 30 of 31, they are just 13-9 overall, conclusion of the regular season and into the playoffs. And since winning the first 2 games at home against Sacramento in the opening series, they're just 8-6 in the postseason. As a point of reference, San Antonio won the title last year, going 15-2 in the playoffs. If there was an aura of invincibility surrounding Phil Jackson's team, it's been reduced considerably, even if they win this series.
Never forget that Shaq and Kobe are basically just getting started. Even though Shaq, what, 8th year now in the league, 7th year? Kobe 4th year? This is the first time real big for them where they're coming in as the established favorites. And that's a much different scenario.
O'Neal, double team, gets it off anyway. And Pippen pulls in the miss. He pulls up for 3. And Portland's off to a great start, leading by 7 at 16-9.
And this has been the problem for the Lakers, and Phil Jackson wants a timeout right now.
Scottie Pippen's three-pointer puts Portland on a 10-0 run as they jump out in front by 7. Trying to become only the 7th team in NBA history to overcome a 3-1 deficit and win a postseason series.
It's brought to you by Net Zero, defenders of the free world. Free internet access forever. Call 1-800-DEFENDER.
Competitive greatness, doing your best when your best is needed. But what kind of game are the Lakers playing right now? Shaq, only 1 shot attempt, has not scored. Errant passes, hesitation, indecisiveness. The players feeding off that. The entire Laker team looks hesitant at this point. Wild spinning shots, blindly flailing away. Shaq has 2 rebounds, a turnover. Most importantly, though, the Blazers have a solid 7-point lead early.
Portland is the team that is playing with a greater air of confidence and assuredness, and they feel that if they control the first quarter, they will win this game and move on to the finals.
Fisher dumps it into Shaq, back to Kobe. Fakes the 3, spins to the foul line. His jumper is short. Rice has the loose ball. Misses with the left hand, and Smith takes it for Portland.
See, that's out of control offense.
And Smith pulls up for 3 just as Pippen did a moment ago, sending the Blazers out in front by 10, 19-9.
No lob possibilities for Shaq here. Tough pass by Rice. And it's Scottie Pippen on the ground. What an incredible player Scottie Pippen is. With Glenn Rice dumping it quickly over his defender. Who's going to the ground the first? Scottie Pippen.
So now he'll jump it up with Robert Horry.
But the Lakers are a stagnant team right now, and Portland realizes it, and that's where their defensive energy has really picked up. They know they're having a tough time getting the ball into Shaq. They're playing outside in rather than inside out.
Horry into Shaq. Out of the double to an open Fisher.
Shaq is assuming the double team is going to come there. He should be drop stepping. He should be backing down, pounding that ball, trying to get that second foul on Sabonis.
Steve Smith again. And the rebound to Kobe. Here come the Lakers down by 8. Into Shaq, but before he can make the catch, there's a foul on the play, and this is on Sabonis, and it's his second. 2 more than he had in the entire first half of Game 6, and here we are with 3.5 minutes to play in quarter number 1.
You posed the question, how would this game be called? Shaq having the arm underneath, lifting Sabonis, who weighs a full 300 pounds himself. The incredible raw size, strength, and power of Shaquille O'Neal on full display.
Now Sabonis goes out. The smaller Brian Grant is in. Shaq's pass finds O'Neal, as we've mentioned many times, is an excellent passer. Led all NBA centers in assists. He's gotten a couple on the last 2 Laker possessions. Rasheed Wallace is open.
That guy is in the zone, Rasheed Wallace. Why he doesn't touch the ball virtually every time down right now for the Blazers, mind-boggling.
Yeah, but Portland's got great balance, and they're playing with a great deal of confidence. A foul on Brian Grant inside. Now, you talked about the calls against Sabonis. Whenever you see Shaquille O'Neal run right down the middle of the floor and stop underneath the basket, he is going to get the call, and that's how he got his 2 calls.
A look of concern on the face of Mike Dunleavy. He may be saying to himself, if they're going to call that, despite the fact that we're up right now by 8 points, we could be in trouble down the road. And O'Neal misses the first. You can log on to MSNBCSports.com and click on Showtime Online for in-depth playoff coverage, special interactives, commentary and analysis on the hottest topics in the league from Bill Walton, Steve Jones, Isaiah Thomas, Matt Kukas, and Peter Vesey. He missed them both, and Pippen has it.
Shaquille O'Neal has to be one of the 3 most difficult players in league history to referee. The others being Moses Malone and Dennis Rodman, the guys who establish contact, who hit first all the time, but are often away from the ball when that's happening.
Steve Smith backs in and misses over Kobe, who takes the rebound. Into O'Neal. Grant, who fouled him. And Grant turns away with a look that says, what am I supposed to do?
He's just standing there as Brian Grant picks up his 2nd foul now. So both Blazers, Shaq, hard to see how that is a defensive foul. You're supposed to run away from the man.
The big problem for Grant is he can't get him far enough out on the block. The offensive player will always get the call from the official when he's in that position. First score for Shaquille O'Neal and almost 10 minutes gone in the first quarter of play.
Shaq shot 3 for 10 at the line in Game 6. Despite making 15 in a row in one stretch, he's under 50% overall in the series. So Grant, like Sabonis now with 2 fouls, and they have to call on young Jermaine O'Neal, who has played sparingly in this series. He's 6'11", but a rather slender 230.
What makes it so tough is that when Shaq starts backing in, they never call that. So the disparity from one side to the other, the consistency that every player wants, is just not there.
After O'Neal knocks them both down, the Blazer lead is 6. Steve Smith, jumper over Bryant. It's short, and Kobe protects the rebound. Fisher into Shaq. 3 defenders. Here's the hook. It's short. Pippen on the move. Rice took a spill. Fans wanted a call. The officials wouldn't buy it.
Scottie Pippen's calling for it against Kobe Bryant. He wants to establish something here.
4 seconds to shoot. It's going to be Scottie. And it's going to be 23-15 Portland.
That is beautiful basketball. Scottie Pippen, maybe the greatest role player in the history of basketball. That time asserting some leadership, some guidance for his teams, for teammates who haven't been in this situation before.
Bryant for 3. It's way off. Horry tried to save it, but couldn't. That was an air ball. It grazed the net, but drew no iron.
When they come back the other way, and that's the shot Portland wants him to shoot. Deep out on the floor, stay away from Shaq. It's either going to be Pippen or Smith attacking Kobe Bryant, trying to get another foul on him.
Here's Pippen. He scored 9 points in all of Game 6. He has 9 already in this one. Can't add to it, and a whistle on the rebound. It's against Portland. And now Jermaine O'Neal has picked up the 5th foul combined of those trying to contend with Shaquille.
The guy that's doing a great job on the board is number 8. Kobe Bryant is back in there snatching rebounds, and on that last play, Jermaine O'Neal came over his back. He is doing a better job of getting himself in defensive rebound position than Shaquille O'Neal.
5 fouls early on the guys playing against Shaq. Brian Grant got in maybe 60 seconds before he picked up his second. But the defensive discipline for the Lakers today has been superb. Kobe Bryant not gambling. Everybody just forcing him to take tough shots. And in this series, Kobe playing huge minutes despite the injury. Not as many points as you normally would expect from Kobe. Not as many rebounds. Field goal percentage about where you would think it would be. Shot selection somewhat questionable. But remember, this is a guy who would be graduating from college today with Doug Collins' daughter.
If he had decided to go to Lehigh, which would be questionable for a basketball player of his talent. Glenn Rice out. Rick Fox, an instigator at times in this series, in for the first time. And a whistle from Steve Javie. Looks like an illegal defense against the Lakers.
Now, Robert Horry, the guy that got sucked back in the hole, and he goes right up to Steve Javie and say, call the same thing at the other end of the floor. Scottie Pippen makes the call for Javie, and Javie says, wait a minute, I got it.
It's harder to call illegal defense against the Lakers because they move the ball so well and so quickly.
Here's Steve Smith leaning in and missing. Ball out of bounds. And who touched it last? Portland did.
Dunleavy can't believe that call.
Portland is right where they want to be. You talk about the Lakers' disciplined defense. Portland has shredded it so far, and they've been struggling to score. Off-balance shot by Bryant.
And blocked right into the hands of Horry, who misses a 3. Since making 3 from beyond the arc in Game 1, Horry has shot 1 of 16 on 3-pointers now. Last shot of the period should belong to Portland. Pippen glances at the clock. Down to 6. And the ball knocked out of bounds and touched last by the Trailblazers with 0.8 of a second remaining.
All the Blazers are asking for is consistency. They don't feel they're getting it.
In the calls.
In the calls.
They're winning the game.
Scottie Pippen got knocked out of bounds on a jumper by 2 guys.
Horry pegs it towards Shaq. It's knocked away before Fisher can pick it up. It wouldn't have counted even had it gone in. The Blazers led by as many as 10 during the course of the first quarter. It ends with Portland in front by 7. Scottie Pippen with 9 first-quarter points. And you're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC. Kobe Bryant made his first shot. He's missed his next 4. Shaq didn't have a field goal in the first quarter. Game 1's first quarter ended in a tie. Game 2, Lakers in front by a point after the first 12 minutes. Every first quarter since now, 5 in a row, has been won by Portland.
Games 3 and 4 won in Portland by the Lakers after huge first half by Portland. But with the Lakers shooting 35% in the first quarter, 3 turnovers leading to 5 Portland fast break opportunities, Blazers have a comfortable 8-point lead.
Well, the Trailblazers now are going to be tested. They've gone to their bench, and let's see how Detlef Schrempf and Bonzi Wells and Jermaine O'Neal perform.
Rick Fox with Schrempf on him. Into Shaq, back to Fox. O'Neal had it go through his hands, but they're going to say Portland touched it last.
4 on the shot clock.
Harper playing with 2 fouls. Gets it into Kobe.
Blazers got caught defensively trailing Kobe. You got to force him away from the basket. Kobe just kept curling though, and ended up with an extremely difficult reverse layup.
You know, with Jermaine O'Neal in the game, Shaq gets to rest. So let's see if he starts blocking shots and clogging the middle.
Rasheed Wallace got the bounce.
Great catch and finish by Wallace.
Surprised that Shaq is not coming quicker. He doesn't have to guard Jermaine O'Neal under any circumstances. Oh, offensive foul. Shaq with the elbow and the back end.
And that'll be his second.
Here's the frustration point for O'Neal. Not getting the ball, not being able to get the position, trying to overpower his opponent. He's now got 2 personal fouls.
If you keep facing him as opposed to keeping your back to him, there's less likelihood of that play happening.
Pippen for 3. That one's off, and Shaq takes it.
So few fast break opportunities for the Lakers. Not a transition game. Stagnant half court right now.
Robert Ory's jumper is there. He has shot only 25% since a hot game 1. He needed that.
But to me, that's where the Lakers have to make their money. They have to be willing to step in and take that medium-range jump shot and get off that 3-point line.
Rasheed Wallace with Ory leaning on him. Tough hoop plus the foul.
Forget about it is what they say, because he knows that he has the ability to jump over Robert Ory. Watch the double team show, and he takes his time, gets himself in a position where he's going to power up. And an easy 2 and a chance for 3.
When Robert Ory senses the double team coming from the top, you have to slide down a little bit defensively to force Rasheed Wallace back in. But the way Wallace initiates, the way he extends and gets over the top of the defenders, very little you can do, much like trying to guard Kevin McHale down low.
Wallace can't complete the 3-point play, but he's in double figures already with 10 on 5 of 7 from the floor. Kobe Bryant's 3. Got it. He shot lights out from beyond the arc on Friday night in Portland, and he drills that one. Detlef Schrempf. He had a big game 5 here. 9 points, 6 assists in a strong 27 minutes. He had been a forgotten man prior to that, but he played himself back into the rotation.
Great patience and decision-making by Jermaine O'Neal, finding a better shooter.
And as Shaquille O'Neal goes up, several Blazers surround him. One of them fouled him. And it was Jermaine O'Neal, his second.
Game 1 is brought to you by Miller Lite. The coolest stuff in the world is at Miller's Get the Goods Online auction. By Honda, a winning lineup of cars, sport utility vehicles, and minivans. And by Nike.
This is the second Game 7 of Shaquille O'Neal's career. 5 years ago to the day, June 4th, 1995, his Orlando Magic playing at home defeated Reggie Miller and the Indiana Pacers in Game 7, went on to the finals against Hakeem Olajuwon and the Rockets, where they were swept 4 straight. Good numbers for Shaq in that game, except at the free throw line.
Well, with Shaquille O'Neal struggling to get points today, something the Lakers desperately need from him. Over the last 5 quarters, Shaq just has 19 total points. Now he comes to the free throw line.
Kobe Bryant goes out of the ball game, and so we'll find out where the firepower is going to come from, since they can't get Shaq involved other than free throws.
One of the problems that the Lakers are having, I don't think they entered the ball to Shaq quick enough. He has to wait. There's no opportunity for him to go on the reception. If they rifled that ball in there and everybody was moving with the ball, with cutters, with screens on the weak side, he'd be a lot better off.
He still doesn't have a field goal, but he has made his last 4 free throws. Now here's Greg Anthony, whose minutes have been greatly reduced of late, but in the game here early in the second quarter, giving it up to Bonzi Wells, who had 20 points in 19 minutes in Game 6. And there's a Laker foul.
What's going to be important for Bonzi Wells is playing under control. You know, young players have a tendency to feel that they have to expand on what they've done in the game before. Bonzi Wells was sensational. And if he can just let the game come to him, he's going to have an impact on the defense of the Lakers.
Harper is hit with his 3rd. He has to go out, and back comes Glenn Rice. Bonzi Wells got inside, but it was knocked away from him.
How good is Bonzi Wells, though, if he's calling for the ball against Ron Harper? Ron Harper is one of the great defensive players of all time. And Bonzi Wells is saying, hey, I got one here. Just give me that ball.
Well, he's probably good. He's also probably juiced a little bit about Game 7, coming off the best game of his life 2 nights ago.
But those are the hardest ones to come back with.
This whistle goes the other way. It's on Detlef Schrempf, his first.
With the second unit, they cannot afford to be passive, and they're not looking in the direction of the basket, fighting the clock, and Detlef Schrempf, out of control, runs through the double team.
Here are the Lakers down by only 4 now. Shaq to the baseline, cut off. Rick Fox had it knocked away. Bonzi Wells with the steal.
Bonzi Wells is very good defensively in the passing lane. Foul Glenn Rice.
And that'll be 1 on Glenn.
Detlef Schrempf seems to be in that zone himself, along with Rasheed Wallace. The way he's finishing, the way he's moving, get him the ball, give him an opportunity. Don't wait for something to just luckily roll his way. Greg Anthony, Sabonis, the playmakers, they've got to see that in Schrempf.
There's only one guy in that zone. That's Wallace by himself.
Bonzi Wells. I don't know. Maybe Walton was right. That's the play of a guy who's in the zone. And it could be a 3-point play. The foul was on Fox, his first.
Well, Bonzi Wells feels he can score against anybody, and when he's in an attacking, aggressive move, and you can see almost lost control of the basketball on the play.
Dunleavy approves. The lead is 6. Wells can make it 7 with the free throw. Gawan D'Angelo Wells, nicknamed Bonzi, we're told, because his mom craved bonbons when she was pregnant with him.
How many guys named Bonzi do you know, Bob?
Only 1.
Me too.
Interesting inquiry. I wish I had a more interesting answer.
But coming back from a huge performance for young players, that is so difficult to do. Bonzi Wells appears to be up to the challenge.
Derek Fisher. It spins out and into the hands of Sabonis.
Shaq's not putting enough pressure and getting to the offensive glass. He's allowing himself to be blocked out.
Still Trailblazer ball. Well, we have played the first quarter plus more than 4 minutes of the second, and Shaq is without a field goal. He has 3 assists. He's made 4 free throws. He has no baskets.
The Trailblazers are controlling the play at both ends of the floor. As they mop up the floor, watch the matchup between Wells and Bryant.
Scottie Pippen trying to settle Rasheed Wallace down. Shaq also has 0 blocks and 0 offensive rebounds.
Bonzi Wells feeling it. Kobe Bryant forced him into a difficult shot. And then a loose ball foul. So sometimes you got to corral that emotion and energy.
The way Kobe is staying down, there's no gambling here. He's got size, strength, jumping ability over Bonzi Wells. Wait for Bonzi to bring it into you, then just tap it away.
And then Bonzi, in his exuberance, commits a needless foul, his first.
Oh, Bryant was hot. He was ready for a lob pass, didn't get it. And that's one of the things the Lakers are doing. Not moving the ball, not moving people one-on-one. Bryant kicks it away.
Talked about this in Showtime. Kobe trying to get it done by himself. Dump it into somebody. They're automatic on the double teams of Shaq. Everybody else is then playing 4-on-3.
Looking for Wallace.
Here he is with the turnaround off the glass, no good. Derek Fisher for three. Way off.
Oh. Keep your hands up on that one. Watch your face coming in for rebounds.
Is that really the shot you want? Cross court to Greg Anthony. He finds Wallace for three. That is the shot, evidently, that Portland wants.
Phil Jackson has to be hugely concerned here. Kobe shooting air balls, Derek Fisher shooting air balls, and Shaq is doing nothing.
And Portland, which led by 10 earlier, has reestablished that 10-point advantage. Here's the three by Rasheed Wallace, who during the entire season, more than 80 regular season games, was 8 for 50 from beyond the arc. But he's been a three-point shooting machine in these playoffs. He's 6 for 10 on threes in this series.
Failing to qualify for the '96 Olympics, sprinter Maurice Green had thoughts of giving up. But quitting was not in his blood, so he drove halfway across America to give it one last shot with a new coach. Now he's the world's fastest man, favored for Olympic gold. The Olympic Games on NBC. Follow the dream.
Bill, has Shaq been too passive here?
Absolutely. You have to establish your game. Shaq has not done that. Game 6, Friday night in Portland, the fourth quarter, one-shot attempt. Shaq is giving it up against the double teams too readily, too easily. Today, the whole game, he's only taken 2 shots. Now, granted, they fouled him, they've hacked him, they put him on the line a number of times. But this is a guy, one of the most dominant players and forces in the history of basketball, who should be attacking, who should be knocking these guys underneath the basket.
Bill, he's a center, and you got to bring the game to him, and they haven't brought it to him. Oh, that's another offensive.
Oh.
They got him the ball, but he drilled Sabonis. And now it's O'Neal who has 3 fouls.
This is a very tough play. You need, as a defensive player, to keep that elbow above Shaq so that when he turns, you don't get hit in the face. Very, very dangerous play by Sabonis.
Bonzi Wells on the drive. Yeah, it's on Bonzi, the offensive foul. And Rasheed Wallace, in a rare situation, becomes the cooler head, pulling Bonzi away from the official.
Well, I mean, Wallace, since his opening game, has done a better job of keeping himself under control. Wells out, Steve Smith in.
But how about the cool head of Phil Jackson? He's leaving Shaq in with 3 fouls. There's 6 minutes to go. If Shaq picks up his 4th foul, the way they're calling offensive on him, Lakers could be even in more trouble.
They go deep to him for the hook, and there's his first field goal. Midway through the second quarter, his first basket.
He went on the catch. He went before anybody could get there. It was a good hard post-entry pass.
Rasheed Wallace with the turnaround that's way short. Bryant into Shaq. Turnaround jumper. That is a tough shot.
Crowd starting to sense Shaq unleashed right now. 2 possessions, 2 quick attacks, 2 jumpers, and 2 buckets.
And not a moment too soon. Bryant all over Anthony. 8 on the shot clock. Anthony deals out to Sabonis, who's all alone. It skips out of bounds, and the Lakers will have it.
Portland had done a great job of preventing early offense for O'Neal. His last two opportunities came very quickly. Anthony out of the ball game, Scottie Pippen back in, and Dunleavy said, we're going to shut the middle down for Shaquille O'Neal right now.
Glenn Rice for three. And it cuts Portland's lead in half. From 6 to 3. It was 10 only moments ago. A 7-0 Laker run. And Dunleavy stops the clock. Shaq hit 2 in a row. Rice switched to triple. And just like that, the crowd is alive.
You see how deep Shaquille O'Neal gets position, and that's what makes the scoring attempt possible. And now, once they've got an inside attack going, the Trailblazers get just a little bit too loose defensively. Look at the distance that Wallace has to come to try to get the right.
You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
New York, coming up on Net Zero at the half, we'll be joined live by Indiana Pacers point guard Mark Jackson. On Friday night, the Pacers eliminated the New York Knicks, earning their first ever berth in the NBA Finals. After losing in the conference finals 4 of the last 6 years, the veteran Indiana team has finally broken through. And Mark Jackson joins us to talk all about it coming up at halftime. Let's go back to LA now and rejoin tonight's announcing quintet. Bob, Bill, Snapper, Ahmad, and Jim.
Hannah, thanks very much. And let's quickly check with Jim Gray.
All right, thanks, Bob. During that timeout, Mike Dunleavy turned to his guys just before they came out. He said, guys, do anything you can to try and pick up the 4th foul on Shaquille O'Neal. If that means that you guys have to take a charge, if that means if you run straight into him, do whatever you can to try and get him his 4th foul. Bob?
And the best way to do that is Scottie Pippen driving the lane. Sabonis is not a guy who can pick up fouls against Shaq. Sabonis goes one move to that rolling hook into the lane.
But if you're Shaq, you got to get out of the way. You cannot let yourself get in a position to pick up the 4th foul. If Phil's going to let you play smart.
Only 6 seconds to shoot. Wallace against Bryant. Battle for the rebound, won by Kobe. Now here come the Lakers, who after shooting 6 of 17 in the first quarter are 6 of 8 here in the second. Bryant on the run. And it's into the hands of Pippen. He forced a shot there and may have slowed their momentum a bit. Still Portland ball.
But this is a Kobe Bryant we saw in Game 5, where he played out of control, made poor decisions at the offensive end, with absolutely no chance he's going to get that shot, even though he thinks he was fouled.
Sabonis thought about a 3.
They've got to call that foul.
And they do. It's on Brian Shaw, his first.
Sabonis' perimeter shot is not going down. Shaw is arguing with Hugh Evans. But he attacked him.
Tomorrow night on NBC, 2 great dramas are back-to-back at 9, 8 Central, a special Monday Law & Order, followed by Third Watch at 10, 9 Central. A drama doubleheader tomorrow night on NBC. Sabonis hits them both.
Both teams are doing a terrific job of controlling their defensive backboards. There's been no second shots. Portland only has 1 offensive rebound. The Lakers have just 2.
Shaq double-teamed and forced out to the foul line, so it's Rice for 3. Halfway down, it pops out. Sabonis caught something up around the face from Kobe. No call. Steve Smith slicing to the basket, but he turned the ball over.
And he's upset about it. He's chasing Steve Javie down. Then I got held. That's the reason I had to turn it over.
You don't see many palming calls anymore in the NBA. Portland got hit with one there.
Must be improved ball handling skills, Bob.
I'm sure. Rice had it knocked away. Ori fires a three. Way off with it. Here's Steve Smith. Detlef Schrempf against Rice to the left hand.
And you know what's strange to me is we watch the Lakers run their offense. How can you shoot so much air when you're wide open? I mean, these guys are missing the bucket by a mile.
That's what Phil Jackson was talking about the entire pregame. Somebody's got to stand up. We're getting wide open shots. We've got to make at least one of them. These five guys plus Bonzi was who should play virtually the rest of the game. The size, the strength, the length that these guys have in the zone that Schrempf, Scottie Pippen, and Wallace are in, that might be enough for Portland.
But what about the way Bonzi has played the last few sequences while he was in there? Here's Rice into traffic. Brian Shaw unleashes the jumper. O'Neal overpowers Sabonis for the rebound. It's in the hands of Shaw for a hook off the glass.
That's the kind of offensive rebounding that the Lakers need from Shaq. Just going up, leaving Sabonis flat-footed, rooted to the ground. Offensive foul, Steve Smith.
That's his first.
But with Shaq, Sabonis so intent on the block out. The rules for rebounding: anticipate the shot will be missed, get your hands up and go get the ball. Don't worry so much about the block out.
Kobe. It's a two-pointer just inside the line. And a three-point game.
This is a big defensive stand for the Lakers, and Portland's got to hop that ball, move people quickly. They're going to get a foul against Kobe Bryant.
His second.
Finally, some perimeter shooting for the Lakers. How many air balls have there been? A good look, quickness, right off the pass. The Lakers get in trouble when they pass it to one guy and that guy stops the play, because then everybody else is hesitant, not knowing if there's going to be a shot, if there's going to be a dribble.
Conversation, Shaw and Bryant with Steve Javie, and they're talking about the way that Steve Smith gets position against him. But Kobe Bryant helps Steve Smith out by playing him too close and tight. He gets right underneath them, and it's real easy to hook the hole and fall away and get the call, and he's getting worked by Steve Smith.
Smith, an excellent free throw shooter. And as soon as I say that, he misses the second of two.
Biggest goal for the Lakers in the last minute and a half. Don't have Shaq pick up his fourth foul. Phil Jackson might want to think about taking him out right now. They're close enough.
Rice driving on Schrempf into a crowd. Can't finish it. O'Neal was fouled. And that could be 3 on Sabonis. Let's see.
There's no question the Sabonis was going to make sure that he didn't throw it down. Rice should have finished his play and doesn't. And O'Neal has to work real hard just to get this one under control. He's off balance, and Sabonis smacks him to the floor.
No place for the faint of heart underneath these baskets today. Where is Maurice Lucas for the Portland Trail Blazers when they really need him?
You know, I don't think Maurice could pull in more than 3 or 4 rebounds in this game, but that's because he's 48 years old.
Don't tell him that.
Ran in, Sabonis goes out of the ball game.
Meanwhile, Shaq, as Sabonis sits with 3, has made 5 consecutive free throws. And the string ends there.
What is it with you? Every time you talk about a guy's hot shooting free throws, the guy breaks. Are you intimidating them, Bob?
I feel so bad about it. Schrempf lost it. And it's It's Laker ball, down by only 3 with 1:04 left.
And they get assigned a delay of game, which could hurt them on the last possession if the game comes down to that. Detlef Schrempf, who has been flawless throughout this game, just absolutely bobbled that ball. Inexcusable.
As you suggested, Shaq sits rather than risk a 4th foul. Pippen reaches in, almost takes it from Kobe. Bryant's got it back. John Sally in for Shaq with a pass to Rice. Now it's Shaw into the lane, off balance. And it's going to go against the Lakers. It's Shaw's second on the charge.
Shaw and the Lakers not doing a good job once they get into a scramble of finding where they want to get this shot. Off this drive, he gets by. Pippen steps right in and takes it.
Scottie Pippen is one of my favorite players. This guy does so much.
Really?
This guy, he is on the ground so many times. He is taking charges on Shaq, taking charges on guys coming in, driving to the hoop.
Sally out as Damon Stoudemire comes in the ball game. They match up small on small.
Derek Fisher in to play against Stoudemire. Schrempf looking for Steve Smith. Bryant poking it away.
But every time you see that battle, Kobe Bryant's just on the edge of getting a foul because he gets underneath. He's allowing himself to get too close. Make a decision about how you want to play him and then force him away from his strength.
A quick shot here would ensure another possession for Portland.
And Kobe's got 2 fouls. He certainly doesn't want his 3rd.
Pippen looking for Schrempf. The fake gets Horry up in the air, and Schrempf hits a big shot.
All he was trying for was contact and a foul. Didn't get it, got the hoop instead.
They ate up much of the shot clock, so now the last possession could belong to the Lakers. Sean Kobe, a great pass and an emphatic finish. Portland has 4 seconds. Pippen beats the buzzer. And nearly hit it. After 24 minutes of Game 7, Portland leads by 3.
The ball movement for the Lakers was stagnant half-court offense early on. They're coming alive now with quick hitting plays. The back cut. Scottie Pippen just couldn't reverse ground quick enough. And the explosiveness of Kobe Bryant cuts the lead to 3.
Regardless of how this game winds up, the idea that Portland thinks the Lakers are the favorites isn't going to fly. Portland doesn't think there's any home court advantage in this game. And if the Lakers are the NBA's best team, or at least the Western Conference's best, they're going to have to go through Portland to prove it. And the Trailblazers, even when they were down 3-1, were not convinced. And now they lead with 2 quarters remaining in Game 7. Hannah Storm, Isaiah Thomas, Peter Vesey, and Doc Rivers stand by in our New York studios with Net Zero at the half. That's next.
Hi, Bess, from Acura.
There's something about that honey barbecue sauce. Hitting those 3 big strips of crispy chicken. And all that melted Monterey Jack cheese hitting that sauce. And every bite tastes better than the bite before. Oh, baby! Maybe I spend too much time thinking about that new sandwich from KFC. Maybe not.
Get over to KFC for the new Honey Barbecue Crunch Melt. Hurry, it's only here for a short time.
It's that good.
There's nothing going on here tonight.
Ever notice if you rub your eyes for a while, you start to see little stars and stuff? You see?
No, I don't see anything.
You gotta rub harder.
Red dots, okay? Is that what I'm... This is great.
Wait. You see it?
Oh, yeah.
I got flashes.
Whoa.
I see blurry blobs. 2 of them.
Ooh, lightning.
It's like a French painting.
Big night out.
Tiny amoebas marching together.
Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
It's on me, guys.
Thanks. See, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
This might be a good time to talk about the Michelin X1. Thanks to Michelin technology, it gives you long mileage and better wet braking than any rain tire. And that should make everyone on a wet road happy.
Columbo, Kojak, Magnum PI, and now the adventure begins. The Michael Richards Show, coming this fall to NBC.
On November 5th, Jackie, Ethel, Joan, the epic television event based on the best-selling story of the Kennedy women. Women of Camelot, NBC, November 5th.
Welcome to Net Zero. At the hash, Net Zero, defenders of the free world. Free internet access and free email forever. www.netzero.net.
It's halftime in Los Angeles with the Trailblazers leading the Lakers 40-37. Shaquille O'Neal, the leading scorer in the NBA playoffs at nearly 29 points per game, has just 9 points tonight. And a correction on the halftime score, that would be 42-39, right? I know, I saw the looks over there.
Stop talking to us.
Don't teach me to read my script. That's right. Okay, Doc, I do know this. All right, Shaquille O'Neal has only taken 4 shots in the first half, and he has 3 fouls. Now, the Lakers made the proper adjustments there?
Yeah, they did. I thought early in the game he was not getting touches because they didn't have an early offense. They really was not pushing the ball up. In the second quarter, they made nice adjustments. They pushed the ball up, got it into him quick, and he got quick shots. Portland is swarming them. The only way you can get Shaq the ball is by pushing it up, getting to him quick before Portland can get back. And it's a nice adjustment by Phil Jackson.
Doc, you're absolutely right. Portland is swarming, and Scottie Pippen is the lead B.
Yes.
I mean, he's everywhere. He's playing with intensity and anger, and he's extended his personality into the game. You look at him all over the court. He's using his length. He's tying people up. Defensively, he's active, he's coming up, he's shooting threes, and he's exuded confidence in this team. We talked about communication earlier, and Scottie is communicating with his team. He's talking to his players, and right now, Portland is playing a very, very solid basketball game.
And did you hear that Jerry Buss called Bruce McNall and offered to sell him the Lakers untraceable coins he will take? It doesn't matter. You said before the game that Sabonis, Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, those are the key guys not to get in foul trouble. Now, Sabonis, when he's in foul trouble, when he's out of the game, they're -4, the Blazers. When he's in the game, they're +7.
Well, he does 2 things. He takes Shaq away from the bucket, 1, on offense. 2, it's a big body on defense.
All right, what about Glenn Rice? Do they need more from him, especially if Shaq is going to be hampered here?
Oh, certainly, but it's tough when you're the third wheel to ever get involved in any offense.
All right, well, meanwhile, tonight's winner advances to the NBA Finals to face the Indiana Pacers. Indiana is going for the first time in franchise history. It's also the first trip to the Finals for 13-year veteran Mark Jackson. And many of the Pacers said after the Game 6 victory that the player that they were most happy for was Jackson. Mark Jackson joins us now. Congratulations, Mark.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, Mark, what have the last 48 hours been like for you, for the Pacers, and for the city of Indianapolis?
It's been absolutely incredible. This is something that we've lived and dreamed for so many years, and been through the tough sides of frustrations, the joys, the winning, the losing, coming up short, and to finally actually get over the hump. We're not satisfied, but it's a good taste of victory, and now we look forward to having a chance to win this whole thing. But it's been incredible around here.
Well, you already answered my question about being satisfied. I know there had to be great satisfaction in getting here, Mark, but again, is this team satisfied?
Well, we said before Game 6 against the Knicks, okay, when we win this ball game, how do we handle it? Do we pour water over each other's heads? Do we jump around on tables? And the answer was quite simply no, because we accomplished something that we hadn't accomplished in the past, but the bottom line is we didn't accomplish our ultimate goal, which is winning the whole thing. So we don't want people to perceive this celebration as far as, okay, this is what we've come to do. No, the bottom line is we want to win this whole thing, and we will be not satisfied unless we do just that.
Well, Mark, most of you guys have never been to the finals. Sam Perkins is the only one with finals experience, and of course your head coach, Larry Bird, has. Either of those guys told you about what to look ahead to?
It's been so long ago for those guys that they don't remember.
That's nice.
Hey, Mark, did you buy into that lack of killer instinct that Bird was throwing out there during the Knicks series, or did you understand that he was just trying to challenge you?
I think that he was just trying to challenge us. I also read where Isaiah said that the teams that were left lacked the killer instinct. And I think that both guys were right to some degree. All four of the teams that was remaining was so similar in talent. I think the difference was the loose balls, the rebounds, the little things. And I think that's what we perceived that comment to be. So it was important for us to take care of that statistic, and then everything else will work out fine.
Well, you know, this interview would not be complete unless we talked about Reggie Miller and the kind of game that he played. I mean, I see this guy as a contract killer who's going after his next contract. In that last game, you know, while everybody else came to play, Reggie came to win. Just talk about him, Mark.
So you think about it, in the second half, we were not getting anything done offensively, and we were struggling to some degree, and those guys put a run on us. I quite simply went over to Reggie because we talk a lot after the games and before the games. I said, hey, don't call me after the game telling me what you should have did. This is the opportunity for you to take over this game. And I didn't know he was going to do it in that type fashion. Just a phenomenal, phenomenal basketball player that rises to the occasion and makes big shots and big plays after big play.
All right, Mark, again, congratulations. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you Wednesday night.
See you in the finals.
Okay, it sounds good, doesn't it?
Yes,
Our coverage of the finals gets underway Wednesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern, and tip-off for Game 1 is just after 9:15. Mark Jackson and the Pacers will be in either Los Angeles or Portland. And, gentlemen, is there any way that Mark Jackson can have a sense of what's about to happen to him?
And I remember my first trip into the finals when we beat the Celtics in Larry Bird, and Kevin McHale walked over to me at half court and he shook my hand and he said, "Don't be happy just to get there. Go and win." Now, I heard everything what he was saying, but I didn't really hear him because it didn't register. We went there, we beat the Lakers in every statistical category, but they won the series because they were smarter.
Why would a Celtic give a Piston advice?
Yeah, I agree.
What's wrong with that
I
picture?
had known McHale since high school, so
okay.
you know, so we go way back.
I agree.
All right, we'll be back after this message from Net Zero and a word from the NBA.
You, in my judgment, are an insidious threat to our nation and all she stands for.
The internet was created for the people, Mr. Chairman.
I don't see that in the Constitution. Moreover, what you people are doing is flagrantly un-American. You're giving it away.
Yes, sir, we're giving it away. Free access to the internet is a fundamental right.
Neal had 9 points. He had only 2 field goals. He hit 5 free throws. He had 5 rebounds and 4 assists. He also had 3 turnovers and was hit with 3 fouls. Bob Costas back with Snapper Jones and Bill Walton. Before the game, you, in effect, called Shaq out. You said, look, if you're the MVP, if you're the most dominant player in the league, you got to do it in Game 7. What's your midway report card?
It's a disappointing start for Shaquille O'Neal, who really wasn't into the game at all. They couldn't get him the ball. When he did get it, he did turn it over. But late in the first half, he did come alive, and that turned it around for the Lakers. Shaq with the dominating jump hook over a flat-footed Sabonis. The very next possession, Shaq in motion on the reception. Perfect rhythm, steps into his turnaround jumper. No stopping this. Everybody else standing flat-footed. And when you have Shaquille O'Neal making plays like that, that inspires the rest of the guys. But just 4 shot attempts, that is not enough. This is a guy who should be taking 25 shots and at least 20 free throws here.
Now, on another subject, watch this. This is right at the end of the first half. Scottie Pippen leaving the floor. Robert Horry comes over. Hello, how are you? Fisher gives him a shot. Snapper, what do you think?
Well, you know, it's interesting that Phil, who saw Scottie Pippen affected by this earlier in his career, believes that this still is going to work. In '91, it was Dennis Rodman constantly bumping, pounding, and annoying. And then you have Charles Barkley talking to Scottie Pippen. And it's amazing to me that Phil Jackson does not believe that Scottie Pippen has grown and it can handle this kind of play. Sure, it's physical, it's intimidating, but Scottie Pippen is up to the task. His focus is on one thing, winning this game and moving on to the final.
I believe Scottie can get it done. I don't think that's going to have any effect. That just makes it matter, and that helps the Blazers.
24 minutes of regulation remaining. Portland up by 3.
Ahmad Rashad back at the Staples Center here in L.A. where the Blazers have a 3-point lead over the Lakers. And Phil Jackson told his team at halftime that he knows Portland's going to continue to pack the inside. So when they drive the ball, make sure that they swing it. Keep attacking the ball. Told his team they have 24 minutes to get to where they want to go. Said it's now a game of possession. Make each one count. Now for Portland, let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Ahmad. I spoke to Scottie Pippen about the incident at the end of the first half. He said he's not paying any attention to it. They're trying to bait me into an incident. I'm not buying it. It's a bunch of garbage. Says he just needs to stay aggressive offensively and ignore it. Now, as for Mike Dunleavy, he said basically the same Phil Jackson said. 24 minutes away. We need to do it on defense and the boards. We have no second chance points. We need to hit the offensive boards. Bob?
Jim, thank you. The first shot of the second half belongs to Ron Harper. And he brings the Lakers to within one. They are now on a 16-7 run dating back to the second quarter to cut a 10-point deficit to a single point. And Portland loses it. Through Wallace's hands, Green takes it, and the Lakers can take the lead. Harper trying to get to the hoop, loses it.
Championship days. You get very few opportunities in your life to make it happen for you in one day. This is it right now. Rasheed Wallace setting that tempo. Coming right back after he bobbled that first post-entry pass.
15 points for Wallace. He's the game's high scorer.
The tempo of the game is starting to slow down and swing in favor of the Lakers. So Portland's got to get back to playing aggressively, pushing the ball up the floor. O'Neal
doesn't get the roll, and Wallace gets the rebound. Stoudemire water bugging his way into the front court. And a whistle from Dick Pavetta.
45.
AC Green hit with his second.
You know, they keep saying that Portland does not have a place to get a hoop, and every time they say that, Wallace says, yes, they do, and he knows he can score against AC Green. Green is a guy that will try to do anything to keep you from getting position. Got caught the last time down.
Rasheed again. Rebound to Kobe.
AC Green did a fine job of pushing Wallace out to the 19-foot area. He can make that, but not nearly at the percentage that he does in deeper.
Green screens for Bryant, and Kobe misses. Pippen chases the rebound down.
Sabonis can't put any pressure on Shaq in the transition game offensively for Portland.
Stoudemire takes it after it eluded Sabonis, then Sabonis can't hit the reverse.
I'm not sure Sabonis didn't tip that to Stoudemire. That's how smart he is as a player.
Should have made the basket, forget the tip.
Bryant in traffic in the lane, forces up a shot, and there's a Portland foul.
Kobe doesn't appear to have much confidence in his teammates right now. Coming off the screen, getting deep into the lane here. He's got 4 Trailblazers all surrounding him. That means somebody's got to be open. The double, triple clutch there. Sabonis dangerously close to a goaltend violation.
You know, Kobe Bryant came to the arena at 11:30 to shoot extra shots. Let's see if it pays off. He was on the line. He's already missed one. Let's see if he has a big half if he gets to the line.
He's scored 14 now, and again it's a one-point game. Wallace against Green. Missed it. Sabonis has it. He scores.
I didn't know he could still dunk Sabonis.
When you're 7'3", you don't have to jump much. Shaq nearly lost it, but there's a foul call. And it's on Rasheed Wallace, his second.
Wallace is making way too many arguments with the officials here. Just leave him alone.
Now, what he's complaining about is that arm he got right in the chest the last time down, and he's saying, hey, Dick, watch Shaquille O'Neal. He's flailing, he's throwing his arms all over the place. He was not arguing about the call against him.
This is the 3rd quarter of the championship game of the Western Conference. They are not going to call anything unless the guy loses possession of the ball.
Wallace got thrown out of game 1. He has only 1 technical since. He had 38 technicals this year, an NBA record of a dubious variety, more than twice as many as the 2nd highest total of any other player in the league. Rice for three with a hand in his face. Shaq trying to save it, and look out. A, is he all right? And B, how many people were pancaked on the landing?
He'd be well advised to get out of the way when Shaq starts making this type of play.
Shaq Diesel coming down the tracks, and you are easy prey in row 2.
Stand in and take a charge, somebody.
Ouch. Stoudemire trapped, finds Wallace. Rasheed had it stolen by Green. Kobe Bryant, cross court to Harper. Thought about a 3, moves in for the 2. Harper has 8 points and he hasn't missed a shot. 4 of 4.
Why is Rasheed Wallace running by Ron Harper? You got to play closeout defense. Harper doesn't even want to shoot.
Right now, again, the pace of the game is slowed, and this is when the Lakers get control of things.
But not if Sabonis hits shots like that.
Portland desperately needs that to happen. And Sabonis has to shoot quickly on the reception.
Shaq cheated over to help Green with Wallace, leaving Sabonis alone. The Lakers took that risk, and Sabonis burned them.
Shaq still no touches, no lobs.
Now he's got it, but Sabonis reaches in and chops it away. Here's Pippen to Stoudemire. It rolls off.
That's 2 layups tonight that Stoudemire has missed. One in the opening couple of moments. That's just unacceptable if you're going to win a game of this magnitude on the road.
Shaq to Green, and they knocked it away from him, but AC was fouled. The foul is Pippen's second.
For the Trailblazers, they cannot gamble and let someone come down the lane and then react, and that's what you get on this particular play, and that's why Pippen picks up the foul.
Dunleavy talking it over with Hugh Evans. Green misses the first. They were remarkable heroes, but many of their stories were never told. Now at last a tribute. The opening of the National D-Day Museum, and who better to bring you this special event than Tom Brokaw. Don't miss Home of the Brave on NBC Nightly News tomorrow.
The Blazers have had no transition opportunities in this half. They've got to get some slashers here out of Smith and Pippen.
Sabonis again. Not this time. The Lakers can tie. Will take the lead with a 3. It's Kobe off the dribble. He was fouled on the release. Stoudemire hit with his second. And Kobe's going to have a chance to tie this game when we come back.
Game 1 of the NBA Finals, Wednesday 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, NBC.
It's too hot to move.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by the irresistible taste that makes you say, did somebody say McDonald's? And by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Game 7 is a tough ticket to score, but celebrities have their way. Selma Hayek, Rob Reiner, Penny Marshall along with Will Smith, Glenn Fry of the Eagles, Pete Sampras out of the French, and in L.A. for this one, Magic Johnson, his usual seat. The great Brian Wilson hoping for good vibrations for the Lakers in the second half. Dustin Hoffman documenting the affair. Old Shaft, New Shaft, Richard Roundtree and Samuel L. Jackson. Diane Cannon as ever, Denzel Washington, and Jack Nicholson. If Randy Newman is here, he's hiding, but almost everybody in the house is wearing an I Love LA t-shirt.
Things starting to swing for the Lakers right now. The Blazers still with a 2-point lead, but the Blazers are not playing very well. They're bobbling the ball. Rasheed Wallace, Damon Stoudemire is bricking free throws. Kobe Bryant is getting very assertive on the offensive end. Harper's knocking down jumpers. And Kobe misses 2 free throws. Ouch.
Came too early.
So Portland keeps its lead. Stoudemire out to Sabonis. Shaq comes out to meet him. Scotty with Sabonis screening. Misses the 20-footer, and Bryant skies for the rebound. Rice in transition. A whistle as he takes it to the hole. Do they count the basket? No. I take it back. They give him the basket that ties the game.
Glenn Rice is playing terrific defense. And now he senses his game is coming alive as he just puts his head down and gets to the hoop. Pick a Blazer to call the foul on. Virtually everyone hit him on the way in. Harper, Shaq urging the crowd ever closer.
Lakers lead on Rice's three-point play. The foul is on Scotty, his third.
Now the Trailblazers have to get back to playing quicker, and the Lakers have had them working against the clock in every possession. A lot of pounding of the ball, not moving the ball, not moving people quick enough.
Pippen thought about a three, goes into Wallace, and you could barely hear it with the roar of the crowd, but there was a whistle, and A.C. Green picks up his third. This is the first time since Game 4 that Portland has played from behind this late in a game.
In the last 2 games, 96 total minutes played. 5.5 minutes the Lakers have led, and that was basically the beginning of Game 6. Nice pass, Scottie Pippen.
Kobe Bryant had to come over and contest Wallace after he spun by Green, and Kobe gets hit with the personal. That'll be his third.
Bill, Bob, let me remind you both, the most important time to be leading is at the end of the game, and that's what Portland wants to do. They find Wallace finally. Kobe Bryant, who's been playing a real tough, energetic game, picks up the personal foul.
The wisdom of Confucius there. Best time to lead would be end of game.
We generally refer to him as confusion.
Bonzi Wells is going to come back in. Stoudemire will sit for the moment. Game tied again, 5:58 to play in the third.
Before they reposted Wallace, Scottie Pippen went back to him and said, "You're okay." Wallace said, "Yeah, I'm into it." And they brought him back the ball. Chance to put Portland back on top with these free throws.
Still no Shaquille O'Neal for the Lakers.
Well, a lot of that's not his fault. He's been down the floor early, and the Lakers haven't looked up. They haven't gotten a ball to him.
Here's Glenn Rice, catch and shoot. For Rice, Lakers by 1.
Kobe Bryant and Glenn Rice are playing terrific defense.
Steve Smith against Harper. Fadeaway jumper.
Smith has been quiet. When they get in trouble, their 2 options are Wallace and Smith, and he delivers this time.
That basket gives him 8. He scored 26 on Friday night. Kobe lets fly, but they wave it off. Foul is on Bonzi Wells, his third.
The battle between Glenn Rice and Steve Smith. Rice moving beautifully without the ball, stepping back after Bonzi Wells gets trapped inside behind that screen, and then Steve Smith in the post. A devastating weapon that the Blazers need to utilize more.
A.C. Green looking to tie it with 5:02 to play in the third.
Ouch.
The Lakers have come back from a 10-point deficit, but Shaq is scoreless in the second half. He had only 9 in the first half, 17 for the entire game, 13 beneath his average in Game 6.
I don't think his teammates are creative enough with getting him the ball. I I think they just wait and wait and wait until it's a wide open play. Remember when Magic joined the Lakers with Kareem, when it was, you know, when the Lakers were struggling before he got here? Magic came and said, hey, look, this is how you get the ball into somebody in the post. That's what this Laker team needs.
But Kareem had a mid-range game with the skyhook.
See the confusion of Portland right now. They're not sure where they want to go with the ball. Deep shot.
That works. That works just fine.
Yeah, if he gets hot, how are you going to stop him? Because he can just keep stepping further and further away from the basket, Steve Smith.
But the percentages work against you, and you want to be able to get into that shot a lot earlier on the clock.
Into the lane for O'Neal. His turnaround is short. They harassed him into a very difficult shot. Everything is contested.
Brown wanted a goaltend. Wallace went up there. That shot was coming down. They get nothing. Smith.
Again.
He's got it going. Phil Jackson needs a timeout quickly to make some defensive adjustments.
The Lakers had come back from a 10-point deficit to briefly take the lead, but now they're down by 6. And you're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
He's got nobody here other than the middle. That just takes Shaquille O'Neal away from the strong hand. Shaq always wants to come in for that power jump hook into the lane. One of the 4 greatest defensive players in history, Scottie Pippen, has done a marvelous job of helping shut down Shaquille O'Neal this afternoon.
Glenn Rice feeling it. But it's just short, and Pippen is there for the rebound.
Steve Smith rescued the Trailblazers. Let's see if they stay with him. 7 straight points for Smith. Looking for Wallace.
Oh, beautiful pass.
Here is Wallace into the lane for the jumper, which the Lakers really can't stop. You can force him to take a more difficult shot, but at 6'11" and with the long arms, he's going to get it off. Rice goes cross-court to Ori. Got a good look at it and put it down just inside the three-point arc. It's a 2-pointer.
Rasheed Wallace is working harder for better position than Shaquille O'Neal is.
But you work hard when you know you're going to get the ball. Shaq works hard. He doesn't get it. Then he stops working. Well.
Against Bryant to lay it in. And Portland's now on an 11-2 run.
But they got back to quick-hitting plays, and Portland is scoring.
Off Shaq's hands, a Laker turnover.
If you throw it at his face, he's got a much better chance of catching it. Nice pass, Sabonis.
Pippen gets it underneath to Wallace. And just like that, it's back to a 10-point Portland lead.
Phil Jackson, who's wearing that championship ring from the 6th and final Bulls successful run, trying to have it rub off.
Ori misses a 3.
The bottom line, Bill, is Portland has more players and more ways to score, and the 2 stars for the Lakers have to score, and they have been shut down in the last 4 minutes of play.
Portland asked for time. They're on a 13-2 run, and they've made 6 consecutive shots.
Well, when you see Rasheed Wallace get the position, spin around, know that all I have to do is get set, he's going to be able to get the shot away. You know that they believe they can score against him. Ball movement, player movement, and Wallace right down at the bucket, point-blank range, and O'Neal cannot pick up this 4th personal foul.
Is brought to you by Oldsmobile and your local Oldsmobile dealers, and by Adidas. Long live sport.
I'm Ivan Shaw back at the Staples Center. I'm joined now by Irvin Magic Johnson. And Irvin, Shaq not getting a lot of touches. Now, you one of the best ever to play this game at being able to get the ball into the big man. How do they get the ball into Shaq?
Well, first of all, we're walking the ball up. We're not pushing the ball up, get into early offense. You got to get him on the move because that triple teaming them, when you got that set offense. And another thing, with shooting too many jumpers, we got to start our offense inside and then let him kick it outside for the shot. So he's not even touching the ball when we do come down and set it up, and that's disappointing right now because a lot of our guys can't get their own shots. Shaq has to help them get their shots.
How about in terms of aggressiveness? As a team, Portland seems to have that edge.
Oh, no question about it. But I think they have established their post-up game with Rasheed Wallace and Bonzi Wells going good. That enables Steve Smith to go good from the outside. So they established their inside game, and we haven't established ours.
All right. Enjoy the rest of the game, man. I know you're a little nervous.
I can't enjoy it. I'm just mad. I'm really upset right now, like I'm playing out there, you know?
All right, Irvin. Back to you, Bob.
Of course, if he was playing out there, it might be a different story. The foul on Rick Fox was his second. Bill, you made the point earlier that Portland was doing a better job as Smith unleashes another three, and he's on fire now, increasing the lead to 13, the game's biggest. Portland doing a better job getting it to Wallace in the post than the Lakers are doing with Shaq. Wallace has 8 points in this quarter. Shaq is scoreless in the second half. Rick Fox misses it, and Wallace is there.
If Magic was playing, Shaq would have 35 points, and there wouldn't be a single Blazer front court player didn't have at least 5 fouls.
I see Shaq is getting frustrated. He needs to get out of that position of double teaming Wallace.
This is a 15-point game. Wallace with 10 points in this quarter, with 23 points for the game.
Look at the Blazer bench. They're up, they believe, and they got it going. Shaq will get a travel call.
He traveled before the contact.
This crowd is stunned.
The Lakers are the only team in the NBA not to lose 3 games in a row at any time this year. This would be a horrible time, from their perspective, for that streak to end.
While Shaq is not getting it done on the offensive end, he's not having much defensive impact either. The Blazers are shooting 50% as a team. Shaq has 0 blocks and only 5 rebounds.
Bonzi Wells. It spills off, and Brian Shaw just in takes the rebound.
Double foul.
Orion Schrempf, perhaps.
He got locked up, and Steve Javier calls it right away. But the problem for the Lakers is this is not going to work. They got to get back to playing basketball. Bonzi Wells aggressive. They miss. They get hooked up. Now they won't let go. Let go. This is no dance.
But that's the Moses Malone play. Just grab the other guy's hand and just hold on to him.
L.A. led 51-50. Since then, they've been outscored 18-2. Kobe Bryant.
Lakers coming with a trap here, trying to get into that running game, that transition style that Magic was pleading, begging for.
The Lakers are not a trap team. That will not work. They've got to just slow Portland down, and they've got to start involving Shaquille O'Neal, and Portland's not letting it.
Scotty, how big is that? And he's done that throughout the series. A 3 late in a half, late in a quarter. Just 18 seconds to go in the third.
Lakers need something big here to try to fire the crowd up over the quarter break.
Shaw tried to provide it and did. Overshot it and banked it in for 3. Steve Smith hurrying to the front court. Beats the buzzer. Brian Shaw, who was 4 for 4 on threes in Portland on Friday night, somehow banks in a 3. But it's still a 13-point Portland lead heading into the 4th. If you're a Laker, you don't want to be reading the postmortems in this town if something doesn't change drastically in the last quarter of this game. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
Of the National Basketball Association is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. And any retransmission, reproduction, rebroadcast, or other dissemination or use of this telecast, or of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
The Los Angeles Lakers won 67 regular season games. There have been 10 teams in NBA history prior to this year that won 65 or more in the regular season. Only one of them, the 73 Celtics, who lost with an injured John Havlicek in the Eastern Conference playoffs to the Knicks. Only one of those 65-plus win teams did not go on to win the NBA title. Shaquille O'Neal was one vote from being the unanimous MVP. Kobe Bryant, second-team All-NBA, first-team All-Defense. Phil Jackson, one of the great coaching jobs in recent NBA history. And it will all be for something close to naught if they don't pull it together in the last 12 minutes here.
Well, the first thing that the Lakers have to realize is they've got 12 minutes to play, and it's only a 13-point game.
Not anymore. Steve Smith hits on the run, and it's 15.
12 minutes to do something in your life. This is where you just blast through all the pain and know that if you come up big, they go to the hack-a-shack defense early.
Well, not in that case. He was trying to get to the bucket, and they were trying to prevent the shot.
They could have tried to take a charge. That's not a good idea. They could have counted on him missing. That's not a good idea. Just foul him every time.
Pippen made the first contact, and he gets his fourth foul.
I don't think you go to the hack-a-shack. Portland is playing too well. Just keep the heat on. Make them have to come up with big shots every single time.
Kobe Bryant's banker gives him 18. Smith trapped near midcourt, finds Pippen.
Blazers cannot get conservative here. Think offense and the push time and time again.
Bonzi Wells, Rick Fox fouled him. 3 on Fox.
Anybody that's guarding Bonzi Wells cannot let him catch the ball down on the post and bring the game to him. That's where Fox, that's where Shaw, that's where every guard that's defended or forward is defended against Wells has got themselves in trouble.
But the Lakers have such an incredible reputation for being a top defensive team. Their anchor, Shaq, not providing much there.
Steve Smith finally missed one. Into Shaq. Sabonis fouled him on the catch. No basket.
That's the kind of position we're talking about. That's the kind of burst. The two toughest guys I ever had to guard down low, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Kevin McHale. They never worried about anything other than where they caught that ball. And they pushed, they worked, they elbowed their way to where they got it, where they wanted it, and then they delivered.
4 on Sabonis. Six seconds to shoot. Brian Shaw lost it. Pippen scoops it up. Bonzi Wells will circle back out. Not for long. He goes to the hoop and he's fouled.
What's Rick Fox thinking? Rick Fox has got 3 inches on Bonzi Wells. He's bigger across the shoulders. He's got the experience, talent, and skill of a guy playing from North Carolina. And he's out there just hacking and fouling and not even being a defensive player.
When Bonzi Wells gets this attitude, he's always going to be looking to attack. And it's as though the Lakers have forgotten that's the MO for Wells. He gets the first free throw.
Schrempf out, Rasheed Wallace back after a short rest. You know, all the focus here, because of the marquee and because of the expectations, at least the national focus is on the Lakers. And Phil Jackson has the 6 rings as a coach. He was named the coach of the decade in the NBA, in the estimation of some people, the coach of the 90s in all sports. There's that ring from the last of the 6 Bulls championships. But what about the job Mike Dunleavy has done on the other side? Kobe Bryant. Kobe with an off-balance double pump that's no good. It's tapped back out to Shaw. They get it deep to Shaq, and he connects off the glass. Mike Dunleavy was last year's NBA Coach of the Year. Played his college ball at South Carolina, an honors student in psychology. And he's had to use some of that. He's not the guy dubbed the Zen Master, but what a job he's done. Spinning some of it on off days, getting his team to believe. That's slammed down emphatically by Kobe Bryant on the Bonzi Wells shot.
Yeah, but let's see if the Lakers can make something out of it. They got to come right back to Shaq. They don't.
They go to Shaw instead, and he's got the radar going from 3-point range. It's a 10-point game. And Dunleavy wants to slow the momentum, so he immediately asks for a timeout.
Shaq gets it all started for the Lakers comeback here. The deep position, he's done this 2 or 3 times now of late. And then on the defensive end, Kobe comes right back, who's played a marvelous defensive game, sends it back, keeps it in play, gets a transition opportunity where they find, with terrific ball movement, Brian Shaw knocks down the 3, the Lakers right back in it.
NBC is brought to you by Keystone Light, always smooth, never bitter. And by Ford Outfitters, no boundaries.
Shaquille O'Neal has all of 2 points in the second half and 11 for the game. Moments ago, here's what Phil Jackson said in the huddle.
Get yourself in position to shoot the ball and shoot good shots. Forget about Shaq. He's open, throw it in. If he's not, don't change your game just to go into him. Get the ball going. It'll loosen up.
Down by 16 a short while ago. The Lakers are making a bit of a push here. They've drawn to it in 10.
Blazers need to come out and reestablish themselves. Scottie Pippen slicing. Steve Smith can't shoot under duress. Rasheed Wallace has got to get open in the post so he can deliver easily and effectively.
The silencers are out on the floor.
Here's Pippen unleashing a 3. Rebound tapped by Wallace, but into the hands of Shaw. Putting back is Bryant, and Wells fouled him from behind.
Blazers are taking tough threes right now. Mike Dunleavy trying to come up with one hot hand who he can ride for the last 9 minutes here. Scottie encouraging Sabonis.
Now here's Bryant at the line, where the Lakers are having all kinds of trouble. They are now 10 for 20 on free throws in this game, and don't blame it on Shaq. He's 5 for 8, better than the percentage of his teammates.
And Kobe Bryant is struggling. He's 3 for 7, and he came early just for this.
He's now 4 for 8. He's an 82% free throw shooter for the season. This dates back to Game 6 when the Lakers shot 13 of 27.
Kobe Bryant is good enough and disciplined enough. He's capable of leading the NBA in free throw percentage.
When?
Right now, he better.
Wallace. It pops out. But on the offensive glass, it's Bonzi Wells.
Laker defense has come alive.
Wallace doesn't get the bounce. Lakers on a 6-0 run. Deep to Shaq. Sabonis apparently fouled it. That's 5 on Sabonis.
Sabonis has a legitimate complaint. Now watch the arm of Shaquille O'Neal. He's going to pork chop him on the way to getting that position. And Dunleavy's saying, you can see the hook.
In our pregame conversation with Mike Dunleavy, saying, what's a defensive player supposed to do? Sabonis, who had been playing so well and really had found a rhythm, he had a double-double last game as the Blazers controlled it throughout. Now Brian Grant, who has been completely ineffective, now he's got to play the ball of his life for 8.5 minutes.
The Blazers are going to be in the penalty early. The next one puts them over the limit. Fox for 3. Shot, offensive glass. And there's a Portland foul. Rasheed Wallace acknowledging with a nod that he did in fact commit his 3rd.
The determination by Shaq now, who is just throwing bodies out of the way. You got to let that one go if you're Rasheed Wallace. Shaq's not going to make that initial shot, but he let it go. Shaq has got a lot of Moses Malone in him. He's not a guy who's afraid to throw up a wild shot.
That was a dart.
Just missed.
He shoots him better when he gets a bit of an arc on him. That thing was a laser.
I think it's in his legs and his mind.
He hits that one. You mean if he bends his knees a little bit?
He flexes. He stands stiff-legged when he shoots it. And he is such a skilled person in everything he does. If he's not making free throws, that's just because he doesn't want to make them. He hasn't put the time in to get it done.
You know, he goes to the gym. He's kind of got... You're going to watch a foul here on Kobe Bryant on the reverse angle on Steve Smith. And it's Portland ball from the side. He goes to the gym late at night, 11 o'clock midnight, and shoots hundreds of them. He wants to make them. Here's Pippen. Into a crowd, he lost it. Fox slings it out for Bryant. Kobe pulls up. And Pippen has it for Portland.
Ryan Grant, an incredibly important player, has no rhythm to his game, no confidence, because he played so little with the fouls early in the first half.
The game for Portland is with Wallace and Smith, and they've got to get them back involved. The foul on Robert Horry. These are the silencers for the Trailblazers. When the Lakers made their run, got within one, it was Wallace and Smith that closed them down, and that's where Portland is directing their energy right now. Wallace with great position, and the foul against Robert Horry.
Portland is over the limit. The Lakers will join them with their next foul.
Phil Jackson needs a better bump out of Kobe Bryant defensively when Wallace is coming across the lane.
Kobe Bryant's got 4 fouls.
Bonzi Wells almost hit it, but can't stop what is now a 7-0 Laker run. Cools off from out there, but Horry grabs the rebound. His three. They're within 5, just inside 7 minutes. Rasheed Wallace cross-court to Grant. Wells. 5 on the shot clock. It's Pippen. Grant had it taken away by Shaw. 10 unanswered Laker points. Horry. A collision and a charge on Robert Horry.
That's a tough call there. Robert Horry is going to dig this loose ball out. He's going to dribble it out. He's going to say, hey, nobody else can make a shot. I'm just going to stroke a 3 here. Then he comes right back thinking he's in the zone. It's a heat check play, and he comes down the lane. Scottie Pippen again standing in there. How tough is he?
You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
February at famed Pebble Beach, a remarkable comeback earned him his 6th straight PGA Tour victory, the most since Ben Hogan in 1948. Now he returns to Pebble Beach in hopes of capturing one prize that's always eluded him, golf's greatest championship, the U.S. Open, beginning June 15th on NBC.
As Scottie Pippen edges toward 200 playoff games, you only have to remember when he was playing for the Chicago Bulls and his collision with Dennis Rodman, where everyone said, this guy is afraid of physical play. He will not take the hit. He will cower when challenged, and Scottie Pippen knows the only way to the championship and to the finals is to play through pain, to play physical, to take the shots, and come up standing, and that has been the story for Scottie Pippen throughout these playoffs. No matter what you do, I'm going to still be standing, and he's leading the Trailblazers as the Lakers try to close down a 5-point game.
Here's Steve Smith, hot hand in this second half. Dumps it into Wallace against Robert Horry with the jumper in the paint. O'Neal rips the rebound away from Grant.
A year ago, all those rebounds belonged to Brian Grant. He has not made a significant contribution for his team this afternoon. The injuries just taking a real toll.
Shaquille O'Neal taking a toll too. Kobe Bryant makes it a three-point game. Kobe has 21. Steve Smith can't hit it. Grant on the offensive boards. Shaq's got Wallace. Wallace into the lane over Shaq. Kobe's got it. 12 unanswered. Los Angeles points. Just inside 5 minutes. Once down by 16. They could tie it with a 3 here. Kobe with the step-back 3. And it's still Portland's lead, but they've got to make a basket. They've missed their last 10 shots from the field.
Slash to the hoop for Scottie Pippen. Forget the fadeaway jumpers. Forget the double clutches.
Brian Grant is swatted out of there by Shaq. Pippen chases it down. It's Wallace. Up and out of bounds, and they still can't hit a bucket.
After Portland was the aggressor in the third quarter and busted this game open, they have become a very tentative team. And for the first time tonight, we see the long arm of Shaquille O'Neal slap one out and give the Lakers another chance.
It's a dirty dozen for Portland. Lakers on a 12-0 run, and the Trailblazers have missed their last 12 shots. Shaw ties it at 75. Rice rips the rebound away, and the Lakers call for time as everybody goes tumbling. Straight Laker points, even with 3:37 left.
To you by 10-10-220. Dial it and talk up to 20 minutes for only 99 cents. And by Jeep Grand Cherokee with legendary off-road capability.
In the waning seconds of the third quarter, Portland led by 16, and this place was about to be turned into a tomb. Brian Shaw then threw up a three-pointer, which he accidentally banked in. He has made 3 of 4 threes in this game, including this one, which tied it. He hit all 4 three-pointers he tried on Friday night. 7 of his last 8 from three-point distance.
You know, Shaw was once a guy who held the NBA record for most three-point shots made in a game at 10. He's very streaky. He's on a good streak right now.
That's the shot chart for the Trailblazers in the fourth quarter. The reds are the misses. They've got 1 basket made in 14 attempts. In one of the driest spells in Portland Trailblazer history, they are just giving the Lakers every opportunity to take this decisive game.
Portland has gone 7 minutes without a point. Pippen, jumper over him. Still tied.
He was a little confused as to whether to shoot it or not.
Steve Smith. Sabonis. 5 seconds to shoot. They got it deep to Wallace to end their drought.
Finally, a quick hitting play for Portland. Why isn't Sabonis more utilized up at the high post there to dump that ball down in?
Yeah. Sabonis is on him, and if that was Sabonis, he's gone. He is fouled out.
A heartbreaking moment for Sabonis. Once one of the greatest young players in the history of basketball. Injury and age have really slowed him, has changed him, and now he's got to sit this one out.
They don't count the bucket, so Shaq has to go to the free throw line to try to tie this ball game up. Everybody's been asking when would the Trailblazers foul O'Neal, starting now.
He's hit 7 of 11.
Harper in. They're taking Brian Shaw out. That has to be just for defensive purposes.
Steve Smith to Brian Grant. Shaq came out and bothered the shot. Then he chases the rebound down. O'Neal. The Lakers take the lead.
That's what the MVP is all about. Don't get down the free throws. Calling for that ball. Delivering money time.
Inside 2 minutes. Wallace. Shot flies in to block it.
Goaltend.
Score the 2 for Wallace, who is the game's high man with 27. And it's tied again at 79.
And Wallace is bruising. Robert Horry in there, and Shaq comes across too late. 4 straight for Wallace.
Very close. That looked like a great block.
Kobe Bryant into the lane. He was fouled. Rasheed Wallace is 4th.
Shaquille O'Neal loves to turn to that left shoulder for the jump hook. This Blazer team has not been able to figure out a way to turn him back the other way, turn him into the help. This is virtually automatic, and with Kobe Bryant down the lane, poor closeout by Scottie Pippen, the bailout.
Lakers by 1. And Portland asked for a 20-second timeout with 1 minute and 34 seconds to play in Game 7.
The final.
Shaq has come so far just in the last 10 minutes. The blocks, the assertiveness, the offense. Now Kobe gives him the 2-point lead.
Pippen against his old teammate Harper. There was a whistle before that, which could barely be heard over the din of this crowd.
Shaq.
It's 4 on O'Neal. Both teams are over the limit.
You know, the LA crowd is a front-running crowd, and they get ahead, and suddenly they become very boisterous. You can't hear anything in this den called the Staples Center. Wallace a chance to tie.
a big rebound. Bryant made 2. Wallace missed 2. Lakers by 2. It's Kobe again. A 20-point swing. Once down by 16, they lead by 4. Exactly a minute remains. Pippen for 3. Rebound O'Neal. Portland has 3 timeouts left. The Lakers have 2. Bryant to Shaq. Back from the brink of elimination to the brink of the NBA Finals.
Shaq waited as long as he possibly could on the day. Finally, the back-cut lob, the athleticism, the exuberance. That's why he's the MVP. That's what the MVP's all about.
It's a rare occurrence.
Kobe Bryant's 2 free throws and then a jumper gave the Lakers a 4-point lead. And now his assist to Shaquille O'Neal makes it a 6-point difference with 41 3/10 seconds left. LA has outscored Portland 25-4 in the last 9 minutes and 50 seconds. Portland, which has played so well and with so much heart coming back from down 3-1, has picked a terrible time to experience an 8-point fourth quarter on 3 of 18 shooting.
But the Lakers, led by the exuberant Shaquille O'Neal, have taken advantage of every single gift that the Blazers have presented to Los Angeles.
When Sabonis had to sit with 5 fouls and then committed his 6th shortly after returning, that was a big plus for the Lakers.
And the Blazers had no response. That's what champions are made of, that ability to respond. It's all right on the line for Portland now.
They're looking for a 3.
And it's Rasheed Wallace from about 5 feet beyond the arc to cut the lead in half. A true bomb from Wallace. They peg it up court to Harper.
They're going to foul. And Scottie Pippen talking to him, but Wallace has this kind of range, and he makes this shot a lot in warm-up. Steve Smith wanted the shot. They double. Wallace goes right away without hesitation. Bottom.
Wallace has 30. 32.9 on the clock. Harper hasn't shot free throws today. He's 4 of 5 from the floor in the game.
I was going to say he is a guy that will cough up a free throw.
That's easy to say after he misses.
Stoudemire out. 6'11" Jermaine O'Neal in. Ahmad Rashad told us before the game that Ron Harper received a pregame call from Michael Jordan, and Michael's last words were, if you're going to go down shooting. He's shooting a big one here. Lakers by 4. Timeout Portland. They have 1 left.
It's a
timeout. Lakers have 2 remaining should they need them.
Well, Portland's a long way from done. As you saw with the quick 3 from Wallace, Dunleavy's strategy in these situations, he's going to come out and look for another 3 to try to cut it. Hopefully, the Lakers will give him either a foul on somebody shooting the 3 or the ball will go in. The Lakers, they need to stay safe and at home and rebound the ball.
Way too early to go for 3-point shots. You got to get to the basket early. The Lakers are not going to play the aggressive defense. They're going to be concerned about not fouling here. You can get something quick. With the way the Lakers are shooting free throws, you're going to get the ball back with a lot of opportunities if you're the Blazers.
As a team, the Lakers have made 17 of 29 free throws. So if Mike Dunleavy can bank on any of that continuing, you might be right, Bill.
Well, remember yesterday when he told us he would take his chances. If he's living with the percentages, none of the Lakers, with the exception of Shaq, are shooting free throws well. So you can almost foul any of them. But I have seen Dunleavy in these situations where you would take the 2, and he will come back and gamble on the 3.
Shaq has made 8 of 12 free throws. He has only 9 field goal attempts, of which he's made 5, which is remarkable.
But his whole game came alive midway through this quarter here. Now Harper and Pippen getting into the mind games.
Pippen was looking for Wallace, couldn't find him. Now it's Smith. Steve Smith goes right to the rack, lost the ball. He goes to the floor. There's no foul. And now Portland has no choice but to foul.
How's that not a foul? That's the question Mike Dunleavy is asking.
Steve Smith with a great fake and hesitation will get to the rim. And he goes up. Shaq fouled him, but he got no call.
Dunleavy's reaction, not only understandable, but perfectly justified. He was fouled.
That could be the season right there.
Pippen had to reach in and foul Bryant. Scotty sits, 12 points, 10 rebounds in 44 minutes of gritty play in Game 7. He's fouled out.
Now, it's unfortunate that the Blazers don't get that call against Steve Smith, but what got them in trouble was a drought in the fourth quarter of play. And even though they might want to say they should have gotten the call, they needed to play better and be closer.
But Smith, who's nearly automatic from the line, could have knocked down 2 and made this a 2-point game.
How disheartening. Now Scotty's got to go sit down, the heart and soul of the team. Scotty's the guy that they brought over here for the Blazers to get their first championship in 23 years. More missed free throws.
Plus Pippen is a 3-point threat, and now they're without that. He missed them both. And Portland uses its last timeout. Now, the what-if game is always a little tricky in sports. You say, well, if Smith made the 2 free throws that he might have been awarded, and then if Kobe missed them, but it's a different situation. It doesn't necessarily happen the same way. Still, it'll have Portland fans wondering in the offseason.
Portland can't look back. They're right there. They're down 4. Same strategy. Get to the hoop. You know this time that whistle's going to blow. All those referees know that they blew that call out there. They're not going to blow it again.
Here is how Kobe Bryant has filled up the box score. 25 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, and 4 blocks. But 6 of 12 from the free throw line. This from an 80% plus free throw shooter.
No question that he has been tight from the line, and all of that work he did early has gone for naught, and it at least gives Portland one more shot in this game. And so they've got to be quick and aggressive in trying to get a score. You know that their strategy is score, try to steal the ball, and stop the clock. They don't want the Lakers, in whatever possession they get back, to run the clock out.
If you're the Blazers, do you want to advance the ball to half court here? There's a lot of time. You've lost Scottie Pippen, who's your inbounder. They don't have a lot of great passers left out there right now. They might want to put Detlef Schrempf in there instead of a Damon Stoudemire.
Many people watching with interest in Indianapolis. The Pacers will be the underdog against either one of these teams. But it's all about matchups, and this is not meant to be disrespectful toward Portland. almost everybody will tell you that Indiana will face longer odds against the Lakers than they would against the Trailblazers.
There's no question about that, because you always have to deal with the offensive dominance of Shaq inside, and you've got to come up with something that's going to shut down that high percentage play. Portland has done it with a multiple number of players, and now we're in the final stretch.
Pacers won both of their games against Portland this year and split their 2 meetings with the Lakers, each team winning on its home floor.
Scottie Pippen is still working the referees. He's out of this game. Remember, the Blazers lost their delay of game in the first half. If Scottie messes up here and causes them a technical foul, it could be disastrous.
Schrempf into Wallace, who's guarded by Shaq. He hands it to Smith. Smith with the jumper. Robert Horry had board position. They have to reach in and foul him.
If either of these free throws go down, the Blazers then find themselves in a world of trouble. They have no timeouts. The Lakers need to get the ball, if they get it back, to their top foul shooters. But first things first, and that's Horry knocking down at least one of these free throws.
These are his first attempts of the night at the line. A moment ago, you got to look at the expression on the face of Mike Dunleavy, who has done a great job coaching this Blazer team back from a 3-1 deficit. No team has given the Lakers even close to this much trouble at any time, regular or postseason. Stoudemire hurries to the front court. They don't want to foul him, and he hits the layup.
You have to either foul or steal right away.
Now, Smith holds the ball so they can get their defense set. But again, the idea is to gamble, try to go for a steal, and then foul right away. They foul Horry again. He looks at the official. But that's the only way that Portland's going to have a chance to hope that Horry misses somewhere along the line. They come back, score with either a 2 or a 3, and try it one more time.
If you keep fouling the same guy, now Horry's got a rhythm. He's got the confidence. The crowd is pushing him here. He says, I just did this. I'm going to go up and knock him down right one more time.
A 4-point lead. There should be no pressure on the free thrower.
Short-armed that.
You are ahead, Robert Horry.
He missed them both. Portland's got to hurry. Bonzi Wells pulls up for 3. It's Laker ball with 4 seconds left, and I'm not sure if the predominant emotion here is exhilaration or relief. Steve Smith wound up in the lap of Steven Spielberg in the first row.
If you're the Lakers, throw it long. Don't throw back to your own basket.
It's going to be Robert Horry again with 2.7 seconds.
The frustration, it all comes out on both sides. Horry upset about the last 2 free throws he missed. Catches the ball, know he's going to be fouled, gives a poor shot to Detlef Schrempf, who didn't grab Dick Bavetta and said, hey, you got to call that.
The Pacer plane was pointing west. The question was it due west or northwest? They've got the answer now. That's it. I'm not sure if the Lakers won as much as they escaped, but they showed heart. Down 16, a huge comeback in the fourth quarter. Dunleavy and Jackson meet at midcourt as his teammates embrace Shaq. They went at it tooth and nail, but there's genuine respect and regard between these coaches and among the players on this team. Jackson to LA to get them to the finals. That he did, but not without some deep anxiety here.
It was almost as if once Portland got that lead of 16, they ran out of gas. They became a tentative team, and that Brian Shaw three that you talked about seemed to be the spark to get the Lakers going.
And while the Blazers and some of their fans will point to a non-call late in the game, you can go back to well before that, because the Blazers had a chance to win this, and they gave it away.
Shaq and Kobe are with Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. Shaq, Kobe, winning championships or getting a chance to play for a championship is all about passing tests. Was this the ultimate test for you all?
Up to this point, this has been an ultimate test. They pushed us to the limit. I mean, being down 13, going into the fourth quarter, it was a huge challenge for us.
And Shaq, they threw everything at you, double team, triple team. You stayed within yourself. Then all of a sudden, it comes down to a big defensive play and a lot of made free throws.
I knew my teammates was going to step up for me. It was hard for me to get my offense going, but we got a lot of weapons on this team, so what I try to do is just draw and kick. When we was 13 down, I told my guys, look, do or die. Time is now. We've been in this position before. We ain't never lost 3 in a row. Let's play. Let's go.
Now,
and they did that.
What happened when you brought everybody together late in the fourth quarter? You had a little huddle outside that other huddle. What'd you say then?
I just told myself, look, it's do or die. We come too far to go home now. Let's just play. Let's just scrap. Don't worry about nothing to play. Take the open shots. Throw it into me, they're going to double. I'm going to kick it back out, take the open shot. And we did that tonight. And I knew my teammates was going to step up overnight because they didn't step up the last 2 games.
Well, you know, always tough during this series to try to get the ball into Shaq. What about the alley-oop you threw to him late in the game?
Well, Pippen was pressured, so I just went around him and had a clear lane to the basket. And I haven't had a lane like that all series long. And all I had was one man behind me, and Brian Grant stepped up, and Shaq was there for the lob.
Shaq, tell me about that. During this series, they kept talking about the depth of Portland. But all of a sudden, this game, Brian Shaw steps up, Robert Horry steps up. You guys have a tough team.
We do have a tough team, and, you know, like I said, it was going to be hard for me to get going in the middle. So what I try to do is get it, keep it, and kick it out to my shooters.
All right, you're talking about playing in a game like this, Game 7. This is what heroes are made of. You guys are both heroes today.
This is what makes champions. I mean, we watch Game 7 growing up all the time, and finally playing one is a beautiful feeling.
All right, you know who you're playing, Shaq. Reggie Miller, Indiana. How do you feel about that?
They have a fabulous team. What we don't want to let happen right now is let our focus go. You know, all year we were talking about getting to the finals. Now that we made it to the finals, we need to develop a new focus. And we're playing against Reggie Miller, so I'm sure we'll be very, very focused.
All right, congratulations, guys, on a great game today. All right, let's go down to Jim Gray.
With Mike Dunleavy. Mike, this has got to be a bitter disappointment. You guys were up 16 points toward the end of the third quarter. What happened from there on?
Well, you know, Shaw hit a big shot at the end of the quarter to start the fourth quarter, put him down 13. We got some great looks during the quarter. We didn't put the ball down in the hole. You know, I was disappointed at the end. I thought that Steve made a good drive to the basket. I thought there was some contact on the play, and at least would have made a tighter game. But they played a great game. I'll give them all the credit.
To score just 13 points. in the fourth quarter after you had seemingly done everything right through 3 quarters.
Yeah,
What changed?
Maybe our legs, maybe we're a little bit tired. You go back and you look at the shots. Some of the shots we had were great shots. Rashid had a lot of good looks in the bat, you know, point blank range. We had some wide open looks that we didn't make. And they made some big shots. They made some shots when we had contested hands in their face. And, you know, they're an excellent team. I give them all the credit in the world. They did a great job.
Did Portland, maybe your guys, start to celebrate just a little too early? Lose their focus?
Not at all. Not at all. Our focus was there for every second of this game.
Mike, it was a great run from down 3-1.
Thank you.
All right, back out to you, Bob.
An excellent coach, gracious in defeat, although you know he must be hurting a great deal inside. They came so close to being the first road team to win a Game 7 this late in the playoffs in 18 years. But once again, the final score from Los Angeles, the Lakers 89 and the Blazers 84. Join us Wednesday night at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific for Game 1 of the NBA Finals right here from the Staples Center as the Lakers host the Pacers. And coming up next on most of these stations,